This video will show you how to create the Catch the Cookie game. Let's begin. I'm going to first insert a font to use for my heading. I'll just take this one. Now that I have my font in my cast, I'm going to create my text cast member, which will be my title. Don't forget to pick your imported font. The imported font is the font with the star. I'm going to drag my cast member to the stage, and I'm going to change my ink. That looks right. I'm now going to create my cookie, which will be a bitmap cast member made in Paint. So I'll open up my Paint, choose the color for my cookie. Don't worry about that error message, it does come up. Feel free to add chocolate chips, make the cookie any way you would like. I'm going to drag my cookie to the stage. Change my ink. In this movie, we're going to have the user catch the cookie in a specified number of seconds. Instead of using a hold on current frame at the end of your scene, I can now use a behavior called loop for X seconds. Loop for X seconds is found in the navigation folder. So I'm going to scroll down, look for loop for X seconds, and drag and drop it to the frame script in the script channel at the end of my scene. Notice I can loop 30 seconds is going to be too long for me, so I'm going to, 9 is good enough. You can change seconds to ticks, which is your nanoseconds, minutes or hours. What do I want it to do when it's done? I want it to jump to a next marker. But I didn't make that marker yet, so let me go ahead and do that. I'll go back and edit this later. So I'm going to set up my next scene. That's going to be congrats. That's when they catch the cookie. Let me set up another scene. And that will be my time's up. At this point, I'm going to now add my text for my congratulations. You caught the cookie. And time's up. Let's place those in the scenes. Remember that you align the marker at the beginning of the scene. Don't forget that you can use your text inspector, Control T opens up the text inspector, to edit your font. Let me change my background. And I'm going to go to time's up. Okay, ready to rock it. Back to my loop for X seconds. If I click on the behavior, I can go into my behavior inspector. Notice that the behavior is highlighted, and here are the parameters. I can change them here or double click on loop for X seconds, and I can say when time's up, it's going to go to the time's up scene. Now, we used loop for X seconds at the end of the first scene, but we want to use hold on current frame at the end of the other two scenes. That is also in the behavior navigation library. It's located directly above the loop for X seconds. Put that at the end of each of those scenes. Once you see it in your cast, drag it from the cast to the script channel. Those are both frame scripts. So now, when I rewind and play my movie, notice that the cookie's not moving yet, but if I wait for the 9 seconds that I specified, it's going to jump to time's up. So it worked. Let's now make that cookie move all over the place. So make sure you stop your movie. I'm now going to look at my animation automatic behaviors. In my animation automatic behaviors, I have random movement and rotation. Drag and drop that onto your cookie. Your pop-up window appears. I recommend just accepting the defaults to test the behavior out first. When I play my movie, ta-da, see my cookie is moving around. When I go onto my sprite in my behavior inspector, notice that I see random movement and rotation. I can now make this really wacky. I can make the rotation speed increase. I recommend editing 2 parameters at a time and testing your movie. There it goes. Let's now take my speed and increase my speed. Look at that move. Okay. I can continue playing with these should I wish. So my cookie is moving. I have my loop for X seconds. I now need to create a sprite script. The sprite script will enable me to make this cookie disappear when I click on it and jump to the congratulations scene. The sprite script is located on top of the cookie. So we're not using the script channel at this time. Script channel only holds frame scripts. So my recommendation is to use your sprite toolbar. If your sprite toolbar is not visible, click on your score, go up to the View menu, and make sure you've selected Sprite Toolbar. The benefit to the Sprite Toolbar is you can see the object or sprite that's selected. In addition, notice it shows you what behaviors are located on the sprite. We're going to hit the down arrow and say New Behavior. It opens up a window. This is a script window, and it gives us what we call our handlers. We're going to change mouse up to mouse down because I believe it works better. I want when the person hits down on the mouse, the action takes place. We want it to become invisible. Now, let's take a moment to look back at our score. Our score has our cookie in channel 2. This is sprite channel 2. We're going to now go back to my script and I'm going to write my script. Sprite, parenthesis 2. Make sure it turns green. Dot visible equals false. That means it's going to make my sprite invisible. Close out my script, play my movie, click on it. Notice how it becomes invisible? Notice in your score, you see this gray box. This gray box makes it invisible. But it didn't jump to congrats. So we're going to edit our script so it will then jump to congrats. In addition, when we rewind and play the movie, we want that cookie to come back. Right now, I'm just going to click here in order for my cookie to reappear. So that button is a toggle. We are now going to edit our sprite script to make the cookie go to the congrats scene. In order to do that, we're going to make sure our cookie is selected. But notice that it says number 9 under our behaviors. We don't know what number 9 means. I recommend naming your cast member. So I'm going to select the cast member and inside the window type invisible. This way, you have a better idea of what this script actually did. So now when I click on my sprite, I can see, oh, that script made the cookie invisible. Now what we're going to do is edit the script. Double click on the script in your cast. Notice how it opens up. Once we make the sprite invisible, let's now make it jump. To make it jump, we write the word go. Hit the space bar, and in quotes, we type the name of the marker. So I called it congrats. If you forget, just go back to your score and look and see how you typed it. It is case sensitive. Now, when I rewind and play my movie, if I click ta-da, I am now jumping to my congrats scene. It worked. But my cookie is still invisible. We know we want it to play again. So, if I rewind it, instead of having to click this button, which you know the user will not have access to, we now write a frame script. The frame script is going to be in frame 1, channel 1 of the script channel lining up when we want to see the cookie again. Double click and it opens up our script channel, our script window. Let's change the word exit to enter because I want to see my cookie right away. In order to make the cookie visible, I use the same lingo. Parenthesis. Do you remember where that cookie was? In channel 2. Dot visible. It's not, we want it to become visible, so instead of using the word false, we use the word true. Close it out, rewind, and play your movie. Here we go. Click, yay! Rewind and play. There's my cookie. Let it just run. Let's see if it goes to time's up. The only other thing we need to add to this movie is a play again button. It will only be one button, so if you could please now add the button and add your jump to marker and your rollover cursor. You've just created the Catch the Cookie movie.